Well, it's time to start preparations for winter, and my first thing that I do around here is plant my garlic. Planting it in the hoop house this year, so it can be planted a bit later than normal. I just placed an order for some garlic and a few of the seeds that I'll grow in the spring with the Annapolis Seed Company in Middleton, Nova Scotia. I'll put a link below this video to their website. They've shipped the garlic, and there's a note attached that says the rest of my order for seeds will come separately. Perhaps they prefer to wait until the new seed year starts or whatever. I've ordered from them before. Last year's garlic came from them. It was good quality. I've never seen this variety before. I tend to grow something different every year, I think. It's a variety called Northern Quebec, and that's a pound of garlic. What I like about it, I haven't ever tasted it, but what I like about it is the fact that it's nice big cloves. It's not called an elephant garlic, but it's nice big cloves, and it's supposed to be relatively mild. That's what I like. That head there only seems to have 2 cloves. And I think that one's got 4, so anywhere from 2 to 4, I guess. But anyway, they're nice fat cloves, and now I've got to go get the bed ready in the hoop house and get these things planted.
Well, that mess is where I had my beets planted. When I harvested the beets in August or whenever that was, I just totally ignored this long, thin row. It's about 1 foot wide and 16 feet long, I think, if I remember rightly. And it's grown up in all kinds of weeds. So right now I'm going to try to take out the weeds, the grass, and everything else that's growing into it. Put in some compost and some organic fertilizer and whatever, and plant my garlic. Well, that was a generous application of my own compost, the power of chicken poo, along with all of the garden waste and kitchen scraps and whatever that I compost along with it. 2 years old, so it's a well-aged, good compost. And you can see that dibble with the red handle sticking up down there. From the dibble on down towards the back is the new variety of garlic that I'm growing for the first time, called Northern Quebec. And from the dibble up this way are my garlic bulbils that I have grown on for 2 years, and anxious now to see whether or not I get a usable head of garlic in the 3rd year. The cloves aren't as big as the Northern Quebec ones, but then I have no idea now what the variety might have been. It might even have been some store-bought thing that I tried this with a few years ago and saved the bulbils. But when I was pulling them earlier, late summer or whatever, I knew I didn't get all of the cloves. Some of the heads would come up with the clove missing because they've been left in the ground too long. Well, I found 2 of those. I'm going to replant them here, but you can see that they'd already sprouted and were coming up above the surface already, but I don't think that will hurt them particularly in here in the hoop house. But I'll put those in next, and that finishes my garlic planting, I guess. Wait and see what we get next year. I think I got interested in talking about my compost and didn't mention the other soil amendments that I added there. The first one was a good layer of glacial rock dust, which, as I've said many times before, I really don't know if it has any great benefit or not, but it doesn't do anything harmful, so I continue to add it. And then after that I added a layer of a balanced 444 organic fertilizer, which is basically your blood and bone product. And then the final addition was agricultural lime. October 29th, and we had our first hard frost. -1 this morning, and lots of frost around. It's almost 4 p.m. now and 7 degrees, but in shady areas there's still frost on the ground. So this afternoon's project is to get the sunroom windbreak rigged up for the chickens for this winter. Well, there's that project completed. I can't put plastic across the top because of the weight of the winter snow. If we had a lot of heavyweight snow, it would break the top down, and if it shows up on the snow, at the top of the hen yard is also covered with fencing, the same kind of heavy steel fencing that's around the perimeter, because I have so much trouble here with predator birds, hawks and eagles and what have you. But that layer of plastic around makes a terrific difference. We have a lot of wind, and it's a great windbreak here in the wintertime, and also on a cold, sunny winter day, it sort of has a greenhouse effect. I can let the hens out in their enclosed yard there, and they're quite comfortable. It's quite warm in there, no wind, and the sun coming through the plastic is quite warm. It's time to bring the artichoke in for the winter, and it's not looking like it enjoyed the last 2 nights. This is October 30th, and I'm trying to finish up this video. Last night and the night before, the temperature went down to -1 both nights. I'll never understand frost. The first night we had a pretty good frost. Last night the same temperature, and we had a much heavier frost. Anyway, I don't think it's really damaged the artichoke, but it's kind of drooping. I'm either going to knock this out of the pot and try separating it in the spring. It's a taproot, but it's now at least 3 plants in there. It just sent up some side shoots, so too much for that one pot. And I have another pot the same size. I've had an oleander growing in it. You may have seen some of my other videos. My luck with the oleander is over. I just took it out of the pot and threw it away. It has blossom buds on it every year. I have never had one open up and bloom for some reason. They all fall off before they blossom, so I'm not playing around with it anymore. The oleander's gone, and there'll be another artichoke in that pot in the spring, I guess. Well, thank you for watching, and I think that is the end of the harvest. 1, 2, 3, 5 small cabbages, 1 very small cauliflower, and an assortment of different sizes of, well, what we call turnips. The seed packet said rutabaga, and I guess in England you probably call it a swede. But anyway, one of my favorite vegetables. Being a vegetarian, I tend to say that a lot. One of my favorite vegetables. And all of the other leaves and whatever there are destined for the hens. They will be thrilled. They love the outside leaves off of the cabbage and the leaves off of the turnips. As I said, thank you for watching.